All right, let's jump right in. We hear a lot about cities having a high standard of living, right? But what if that doesn't automatically mean a happy life? Today's explainer, based on Hadi Helforosh's work, dives into that exact gap. And it gives us this really fascinating idea. The power to build a happy life in literally any city lies with you. So this is the big paradox we're looking at. I mean, you could be living somewhere with amazing hospitals, great schools, super efficient public transit, but still feel like something's missing, Like you're not really fulfilled. So why is that?
And this slide just lays it out so clearly. On one side, you've got the standard of living. That's all the objective stuff a city can provide. The infrastructure. But then, on the other side, you've got a happy life. And that's totally subjective. It's built on things like purpose, community, and your own personal values. Here's the kicker. A city can hand you everything in that left column, but only you can build what's in the right one.
So how in the world do we bridge that gap? Well, the idea here isn't to demand that the city change to fit us. Instead, it's about developing the personal wisdom to change how we see and interact with the city. It's all about a shift in perspective.
Now, to make a shift like that, you need a framework, a mental model. And the one we're talking about here is based on Russell Ackoff's hierarchy of perception, which is just a really powerful way to understand how our minds process the world around us.
So let's check out this perception pyramid. We all start at the bottom with raw data, just symbols, signs, raw numbers. But when we give that data some context, the who, what, where, it becomes information. Then, when we figure out how to actually use that information, it becomes knowledge. And finally, when we truly understand why we're doing something, that's when we reach wisdom. Real, genuine happiness comes from operating at the top of this pyramid. Oh, this quote just nails it, doesn't it? Just having the information, knowing the facts about your life or your city isn't enough to actually create change. You have to turn that info into knowledge, into a how-to actually solve the problem of living a happier life.
And here's the best part. This isn't just some abstract theory. We get a super practical 4-step model to consciously climb this pyramid and actually start designing a life that feels right for us, right where we happen to be.
And here they are, the 4 steps. Absorb, organize, integrate, and adapt. Think of this as your personal toolkit for lining up your internal happiness with the world outside. Let's break down each one.
Okay, first up, absorb. This is all about getting out of your head, moving from just wishful thinking to actively observing the world. It's about gathering the raw data you need to turn a fuzzy dream into a concrete goal. Let's make this real with the story of Pedro, an immigrant who dreamed of opening a restaurant. He and his family just felt completely stuck. And as he put it, they didn't know how to turn their dreams into goals. See, a dream can live entirely in your head. But a goal? A goal needs real-world data. And Pedro hadn't yet absorbed the basic facts he needed about his new city. So once you've absorbed all that data, what's next? Well, that brings us to step 2, organize. You have to filter everything you've taken in. This step is about turning a chaotic mess of facts into structured, useful information. It's about finding the how-to hidden in all that noise. The magic word here is relevant. It's not about knowing every single restaurant in the city, no. It's about finding out which ones are for sale, in your price range, in the right neighborhood. It's about building an actual roadmap and throwing out all the junk that doesn't help you get where you're going. And this is exactly what unlocked everything for Pedro. He started to actively organize what he was learning about the local food scene, the customers, the regulations, and he put it all together into a solid business plan. He found that useful information he needed to finally move forward.
From there, we move to step 3, integrate. This is where the rubber meets the road. It's where your organized plan meets reality. This is all about turning that information into real knowledge through action. Basically, learning by doing.
Take the story of Maria, a journalist. For her, integration wasn't just about learning the technical skills for her job. It was about applying them within a brand new culture, learning all its little quirks, all while holding on to who she was. That's real integration, building real-world competence.
And finally, we get to the very top of the pyramid with step 4, adapt. This is where your knowledge transforms into true wisdom. It's that conscious process of aligning your deepest personal values with the world you're living in. Laura's story is such a powerful example of this. Her most important value was her relationship. Adapting to a new country didn't mean she had to give that up. It meant finding a smart way to honor that value within her new life. See?
Adaptation isn't about erasing who you are. It's about wisely integrating your identity into your reality.
Okay, let's put this all together. On the left, you can see Pedro's entire journey laid out, from absorbing data all the way to adapting his dream. But now, look at that column on the right. That one's for you. This is your turn. What data do you need to absorb? How can you organize it? What skills do you need to build? And the big one, how do you align your values with your reality?
And here's the most crucial takeaway of all. Happiness isn't some passive thing you just stumble upon. It's something you actively build. This model turns it from a feeling into a skill. You are the architect.
You know what's cool is how this whole framework lines up with this broader philosophy of learning. The pillars of learning to know and to do, well, that's your absorbing and integrating right there. But by adapting to our community, we also learn to live together. And by aligning our values, we really truly learn to be. It all connects.
And this brings us right back to where we started. Just look at how differently these indexes rank countries. The Happy Planet Index puts countries like Costa Rica at the top, while the Quality of Life Index loves places like Switzerland. This just hammers home our initial point. Good and happy are not measured the same way because they're simply not the same thing.
At the end of the day, it all boils down to this one powerful idea from the author. When you define your own goals based on your own perception and your own values, you get the power to adapt. You stop being just a passive resident in a city, and you become an active designer of your own happy life within it.
So, what should you really take away from all this? First, remember that happiness is something you build, not something that just happens to you. It all starts with getting a handle on how you perceive the world, climbing that pyramid from data all the way to wisdom. The whole point, the end goal, is to find that perfect alignment where who you are on the inside matches where you are on the outside. And the best part? This is a skill. Anyone, anywhere can learn how to do this.
So I'll leave you with one final question. For just a moment, forget about changing the city. What is the very first piece of data? A simple observation, a single fact, maybe just a number that you need to absorb right now to start designing your happy life?